You know, sometimes in life, you're going to feel like quitting. I'm talking about that moment when you're worn out, beat up, and every muscle in your body, every ounce of your spirit just says, it's over. We've all been there. But listen to me. The difference between winners and everybody else is what they do when they feel like quitting. Now, let me tell you something. Winners don't make excuses. They make it happen. They don't sit around explaining why things went wrong. No! They use every ounce of energy left in their tank to push forward. Too often, we get so caught up in reaching the destination that we forget to appreciate the journey. Every moment you spend working toward your goal is shaping you. It's teaching you resilience, discipline, and the value of hard work. Don't rush through the process. Learn from it. Each setback and challenge is refining you, making you better and stronger. Winners understand that greatness isn't built overnight. It's crafted in those everyday moments when you decide to keep going, even when no one is watching. So embrace the process, knowing that every step is preparing you for what's to come. See, when you feel like quitting, I need you to remember your why. Why did you start this journey? Why did you set this goal? Because that's going to be what keeps you going. You've got to keep that why in your mind, like a picture you carry in your wallet, something you can pull out every time things get tough. Sometimes we put limits on ourselves that don't even exist. We tell ourselves we can't do something because of past failures or because we've never seen anyone like us succeed. But listen, you are capable of more than you can imagine. Your potential is limitless if you're willing to work for it. Don't let doubt or fear keep you boxed in. Push past your self-imposed limits, because the only way to discover your true potential is to keep pushing forward. Believe in your ability to grow, to evolve, and to achieve things you once thought were impossible. I remember hearing about a young man named Richard. Richard had a dream to be the first person in his family to graduate college. And let me tell you, he didn't have it easy. Grew up in a rough neighborhood, a single-parent household. Money was tight, and sometimes it felt like the world was set up for him to fail. His first semester, he got that tuition bill. And let me tell you, it made him wonder if he even belonged there. But Richard wasn't about to let an obstacle take his future from him. He got 3 part-time jobs and studied in between shifts, sometimes until 2, 3 in the morning. He got tired, he got discouraged. There were nights he was inches away from giving up, but he remembered his why. He knew his mama worked too hard, sacrificed too much for him to just throw in the towel, and he kept going. 4 years later, Richard graduated. Not just graduated, he graduated with honors. Now tell me, what if he had given up when life got hard? Now, I know you're going to be tempted to compare yourself to others. You're going to see folks who seem to have it easier, who seem to succeed without even trying. But don't get distracted. You're not running their race. You're running yours. Stay focused. Winners don't stop just because the race gets hard. They don't sit down on the track because their legs feel weak. They keep running. And when their legs give out, they crawl. They keep moving forward because progress, no matter how small, is still progress. Let me tell you something about excuses. Excuses are comfortable. Excuses feel good when you're tired, but excuses won't get you anywhere. I'll never forget what my mentor told me. He said, Steve, you can have excuses or you can have results, but you can't have both. So when you catch yourself starting to make excuses, I want you to pause. Ask yourself, what am I really afraid of? Because most of the time, those excuses are just fear in disguise. Fear of failing, fear of not being good enough. But if you really want to make it, if you really want to be a winner, you've got to face that fear head on. Take a break, not a quit. It's okay to feel tired. Winners rest, but they don't quit. Take a moment to recharge. Pray, meditate, call someone who inspires you. Do what you need to do to reset. Done. One step at a time. Sometimes the big picture can feel overwhelming. Break it down. Focus on the next step. Don't worry about how far you have to go. Just take that next step. 3, surround yourself with positive voices. You've got to get around people who remind you of your potential. People who lift you up, not drag you down. If you can't find them, then become your own biggest cheerleader. I need you to understand something. Resilience is your superpower. Life is going to test you. It's going to throw storms your way and try to break your spirit. But those storms aren't meant to defeat you. They're meant to shape you. Diamonds aren't made in gentle conditions. They're made under pressure. And every challenge you face is molding you into something extraordinary. So when you feel that pressure, don't let it crush you. Let it push you to be greater, to be stronger, to be unstoppable. Think about this. Every setback, every failure is fuel for your fire. You have to learn to use your losses as lessons, because if you're paying attention, they'll teach you something powerful. If you fail, that's not the end of the road. It's a signpost telling you to adjust, to improve, to grow. Winners don't sulk when they get knocked down. They get back up, dust themselves off, and come back stronger. Turn your setbacks into setups for a comeback. Use that pain, that disappointment, to ignite your drive and push even harder. God didn't put you on this earth just to struggle and suffer. There's a promise over your life, a purpose you were made to fulfill. And yes, the journey will be hard, but you weren't created for mediocrity. You were created for greatness. Believe in the promise, even when you can't see it. Trust that the challenges you're facing now are laying the foundation for blessings you can't even imagine yet. Keep the faith and keep moving forward, because your story isn't over. The best chapters are still being written. When you feel weak, I want you to remember that you don't have to rely solely on your own strength. Sometimes the journey feels overwhelming, and that's when you need to call on a higher power. Philippians 4:13 says, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. You see, your strength isn't just physical or mental, it's spiritual. When you feel like you've got nothing left to give, God can renew your spirit. Lean into that divine strength. Trust that He will sustain you when you feel like giving up. God never promised that life would be easy, but He did promise that He'd be with you every step of the way. Isaiah 41:10 reminds us, so do not fear, for I am with you. Do not be dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you and help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand. When obstacles come, know that you are not fighting alone. God has got your back. The battles you face aren't meant to break you. They're meant to remind you of who is fighting for you. So don't let fear paralyze you. Walk forward with courage, knowing that God is your protector and provider. Galatians 6:9 gives us a powerful reminder. Let us not become weary in doing good, for at the proper time we will reap a harvest if we do not give up. That means every bit of effort, every seed you're planting is building something incredible that you can't yet see. Even when you don't see immediate results, trust that there's a harvest coming. Perseverance is about faith. It's believing that all the hard work and all the tears are leading to a breakthrough. Hold on, stay faithful, and keep doing your best. Your reward is closer than you think. Sometimes you might feel like your plans are falling apart. But Jeremiah 29:11 tells us, for I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you. Plans to give you hope and a future. Even when things seem like they're crumbling, trust that God is working things out for your good. You may not understand why you're facing certain struggles, but remember, God's plans are greater than anything you can imagine. So keep moving forward with hope, knowing that He's leading you to a future full of promise and purpose. Now's the time to step into your greatness. Don't wait for the perfect moment, because there's no such thing. Don't wait until you feel ready or until all the pieces fall into place. Start where you are with what you have. Winners understand that action is what separates dreamers from achievers. So stand tall, shake off the doubt, and commit to being the person who keeps pushing no matter what. You've got a destiny to fulfill, and I can't wait to see you walk boldly into it. Keep fighting, keep believing, and keep winning. You've got this. It's not going to be easy. There's going to be pain, frustration, and disappointment. But every great success story is built on moments when the hero could have quit but chose to keep going. So when you feel like quitting, I want you to look in the mirror and remind yourself, winners don't make excuses. Winners make it happen. You're stronger than you think, braver than you know, and you've got what it takes to reach that finish line. Now, go out there and get it.